Leftover brisket. Bon appetit. Oh yeah, that's so good. Oh man, that was so good. Ready to make some knives now? Now we gotta go feed the cat, warm up the shop, get that BC Special out of the tempering oven, see if it's straight. If it's not, send it back through with some shims, and let's get our day started. Oh, my. Boy, this morning's omelet was fantastic. We had some brisket, and I sliced it about a 1/4 inch thick and popped it in the microwave and put 3 pieces of Swiss cheese on that with some peppers and onions. Delicious. All right, this is the fishtail BC Special. And I cut a pattern out, and I didn't like the pattern. So I'm going to go back to my old pattern and just add the little swoopy swoop right there. So that was a mistake. And now we're going to talk. I'm going to set this up in that stand there. You're going to have to look at me. You can maybe, put your sunglasses on or a welding hood while my face is on the screen. But first, a little bit of cuteness. You're the most handsome boy. You are. You're the most handsome boy. All right, beautiful sunny day. My wife is probably going to ride her motorcycle. I'm going to work on knives. I'm going to get the handles on this. Oh, definitely Desert Ironwood 1, hands down. So here's the Desert Ironwood. I had one person pick this, one person pick this, one person pick this, and several picked the Ironwood. I like the Ironwood. The Ironwood really is perfect for a good working knife because it will not absorb, it will not chip. You can hammer nails in with it. Hard to cut, hard to sand, but worth it. So that will be going on here. Brass pins 1, so it's going to be a pretty knife. And, I'm probably going to do a little something on the sheath because I really like, experimenting with different designs. But I think I'm going to do my cross-hatch design and maybe antique. Yeah, I'll antique it and then I'll stain it and then wipe it off. And what happens is the dye stays in the lines and it looks sort of antique-ish. And next time I go to Tandy, which I have to go pretty soon because I'm running out of leather, and I got 3 knives I got to sell. I have 2 deplorables and a Cato. So if anybody's wanting a knife, let me know. And here's what I'm leading up to. I'm going to give this knife away. And here's the thing. If you've watched it this far, tomorrow I'll be shaping this handle. So when you see the video of this final knife, which I will actually, what is today? Tuesday? Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. So it will be Friday's video. Be sure and comment on Friday's video because Thursday, tomorrow, I'll have this all sanded up and pretty and a sheath made and all that. And then Friday, you'll see that video. And the comments on that video, any comment, doesn't matter. I'm going to draw from random.org and give this knife away. Okay, I got a lot of sanding to do. I've got some carbon burn off I got to sand through. So I'm at 600. I'm going to sand through the carbon burn off with 600 and then move up to 800. The warp is gone, come out the first time. And, all right, I should have this done and the handles on by the afternoon. In the meantime, I'm going to cut another one out if somebody wants to buy, but that's not till the first week or so, 9 days of February. So I got to have it done by mid-February, which is plenty of time. Okay, Oh, and that person wants, let me get that wood out so I don't forget. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Jeez. All right, let me get these out of the way so I don't mix this up because I will forget. Okay, here we go. Sanding and talking. And stand by. Okay, pull your welding hoods down. So there's this craze. I guess well, I broke it. Damn it. There's this craze right now for these, and it's women, not men. It's not saying anything about women. I mean, could be men, and it's just something different. It would be something different. Pink Stanley big mugs that, you know, you have to pee 3 times if you drank all that. And so there's these people that are standing in line at stores that sell these Stanley mugs. Women standing in line to buy these pink Stanley mugs. And I saw, well, the price has gone up and up and up, 50, 70, 80, 90. I saw a Stanley mug, brand new in the box, on Facebook Marketplace for $250. And it sold. Within, hours, I actually copied and sent a link to a friend of mine, Mike Callahan, the Watchman News, because he mentioned it, and I copied that link to that $250 Stanley mug. People are nuts. And people just want to be, I don't know what it is that motivates people. I don't get it. I've never been like that, so I don't understand what gets switched in their head where they just got to have something at any cost, no matter how ridiculous the price is. And that's the thing with these Stanley mugs. So, what I'm going to talk about is YouTube shills, liars, disingenuous scammers, and I'm going to mention Pastor Joe Fox, and I used to be subscribed to him, and slowly but surely he turned into a shill for Olight, and that's all he would do. He had a Patreon, so he stopped doing regular videos, and he would encourage you to join his Patreon. In the meantime, the videos he did put on YouTube would be flashlight videos. And you could tell he was bought and paid for, because every flashlight, every Olight was the newest and best. Never met an Olight he didn't like. And have you seen the price of Olights? It's the $250 Stanley mug is what it is. And you can go buy a mug that works exactly the same for $20 anywhere else, It just doesn't have the Stanley name on it, and it may not be pink, and it may not have the Olight name. I have a bunch of flashlights that I bought from Temu for $2-3, some of them $8 or $10. And my best flashlights, I have some Bushnell flashlights that I love, that I have bought myself with my own money, no sponsorship, nothing like that, from Walmart. So I didn't put an Amazon link, and I reviewed them. So I didn't get anything out of it. I'm just telling you about a flashlight that works really good. It's dark out here at night, and we have to check before we let the dogs out for the last time. We have to shine the flashlight out, make sure the coons and the foxes are gone, so we don't have trouble with the dogs, or they don't chase them off into the woods and we never see them again. So, Pastor Joe Fox put pretty good videos out, and then he started seeing the dollar signs. I have a hard time calling him pastor. He's not my pastor, that's for sure. And then he started the Patreon, right? And for only $1 a month. So I just quit him for a couple of years. And then, I got to missing his videos, I guess, and I joined the Patreon for $1 a month. And you know what the $1 a month is? It gets you into the Patreon where he encourages you to join the $5 a month. I mean, it's just a scam and a ripoff. And I've got nothing but, I don't know what the word is. I don't trust a thing he says now, even spiritually. When somebody's soul is so corrupt that they're willing to sell it for $5 a month or an Olight flashlight, you can't be listening to them for spiritual advice. Anyway, now what they have, this is the new Stanley mug. There's this knife. It used to be called Husk, H-U-U-S-K. I'm going to leave a video in the link below. It's just some guy talking about it. I mean, there's this huge swelling of controversy about this knife. Well, eventually, that company quit selling them because they sold them to enough people fast enough. What they did was they sold an enormous amount of these overpriced, cheaply made crap knives quick enough before they sold this many, and slowly but surely people began to realize what junk they were and then talk about it. So by the time there was enough people that knew this was junk, they quit. Well, now they're back, but with another name. And they're on every stinking video commercial, and it's Matsato, M-A-T-S-A-T-O, or something like that. And they're claiming they're Japanese. They're not Japanese. They're made in China out of inferior materials. They're made from the worst steel, bottom of the barrel knife steel. It is stainless, but it's like 401 or something like that. And it's such bad steel that they paint the steel. If it's good stainless, you don't put paint on it. So who knows what kind of paint you're putting on the steel, and you're cutting food with it, thinking you're getting a good knife. Oh, and incidentally, a guy who did a review of a Husk knife lost his channel over it. Husk complained to YouTube, and YouTube, I don't know if he lost his channel, but he lost that video, and they gave him a strike. And Husk complained he had copyrighted some of the material, and I guess he used a picture that they use trying to sell it. So now we have this company called Matsato, which I suspect is the same people that was Husk. And they just laid low for a little while, let everybody forget about this junk knife that they were overpricing. And now they're back as a company called Matsato, and they're doing the same thing, flooding the marketplace with advertisements for this Japanese technology used by the finest Japanese chefs, made from stainless steel. And it's not stainless steel that you would even want to make a knife out of. It's the worst steel. It's not even as good as carbon steel. And they come to you barely sharp with the paint flaking off. They say it's oak handle, and it's not. It's some kind of charred wood that they darken to make it look like oak, and it's not. Absolute junk. Gaps between the handles and the metal, pins that wallow around, and no sheath. It comes in a box, no sheath. And they're claiming this is some really high-end Japanese knife that you can buy for a reasonable offer, because Japanese knives are really, if they're real Japanese knives, they're high-end knives. The chef knives, you know, and they're worth the money you would pay for them. If you're, you know, in the business, cooking food, and you use a knife all day long, you would want one that would hold an edge and that you could get through a week or two without having to sharpen it. So there we go. What is it about people? And there's going to be enough people that fall for this false advertisement, this mass marketing, that buy this. And again, the same thing will happen that happened to Husk. Enough people will know about this junk that they're selling, and the word will get out, and then they'll lay low. And yeah, there's just something in people that make them, I don't know, want to be part of the crowd. You know, when I was a kid growing up, we worked for my dad, and we had work clothes. We went to school and work clothes, because after school I walked to my dad's welding shop. So I didn't go to school with clothes that I wasn't afraid of getting welding spatter or paint on or anything like that. So I was never part of the cool crowd. I never got the cool thing. And I think that's what happens to people when they get out of school, is they don't lose that. Not all people. I mean, there's not a lot of people that fall for that ridiculousness, but there's enough to encourage these companies to keep doing this scamming advertisement and selling people junk for, good product prices. And most people are willing to pay a good price for a good product. There's something about people that can't get past the, I gotta have the latest thing. For some reason, well, not for some reason, I know money's tight, but I'm not selling knives. I got 3. This is the first time that I've had knives that I haven't been able to sell, So, I have a little bit of steel left. Not a little bit. I mean, I got probably 30 knives worth of steel left. I've got about 10 knives worth of leather, maybe 6 leather left. I need some dye. And I'm at the point where I'm probably going to have to just make knives and run out of everything. And then I may have to go to a knife show and sell my knives, because I just can't think of any place else to sell my knives that people only go there because they have an interest in knives. And then I got to thinking, and I encounter these people on Facebook. I'm not a technical guy. I am a handy person. I can make a lot of different things and, figure out how machinery works. And I told my wife, and I say this somewhat jokingly, but I know myself well enough that I could get in a helicopter and figure out how it works. I know I could. Now, I wouldn't invite you with me, but I just have that kind of, in my brain. I can figure that kind of stuff out, And I've always been able to operate things and quickly master it and be good at it. And, but the technical part of it, there's, when you heat treat your knives, there's something called austentizing and martensizing, and it's all the chemistry of heat treating. Well, you have these guys that look for people like me who don't know all the technical words. I can do this just fine, but I don't know the technical words, and they make me look like a fool because I don't know. I know how to heat treat. I know what temperature to bring this up to. I know how to temper it at what temperature, but I can't tell you the science behind it. I've read it, and I just can't remember the words, and that's just the way my brain works. So, here's another thing. I don't put my name on my knives because I have worked way too hard to get this finish this way to go and screw it up with my name. I don't have to have my name on it. I know I made it. Well, you got those people that are going to say, and I know I'm going to meet these at the gun show, at the knife show. They're going to say, well, if it's not good enough to put your name on, why would I want it? Okay, well, you wouldn't. And there's enough of these guys that are going to be floating around, and I have very little patience for people that try and draw me into drama or discussions for the point of making me look stupid. It's not hard to do. So, I recognize these people because I've had a lot of practice. And, when they find somebody that can't keep up with them, with the science and all that, then they get like this little hook in you, and they don't go away until they're happy that they've made you feel stupid or proven to everybody else that's listening that you're stupid. So, do I want to put myself through that? Because I know they're there. I've had people come in the comments asking me what steel I use, and I'll tell them, and then The only reason they asked me is so they can tell me what crappy steel I'm using, or I should be using another steel. Well, the reason 1084 is not crappy steel, 1084 and 1095 are what most knife makers use, for the simple reason that you can heat treat it and temper it with standard things. You don't have to buy a $3,000 electric oven that ramps temperatures up and then holds them at that temperature for a certain specified period of time, and then tempers them at different steps. You have to have a very expensive heat treating oven in order to use different kind. Now there is another steel called 80 CRV2 that you can heat treat and temper the way I do with the equipment I have. There's nothing wrong with this steel. Knives have been made out of this steel for centuries. 1084 or 1095. Maybe they didn't call it that, but the carbon content. So I have encountered these guys that come into my comments for the sole purpose of making it appear as though I'm doing something wrong by using 1084 or 1095 and not using this magic. There's a whole bunch of other fancy steels that some knife makers have got to the point where they can afford the equipment to heat treat it. And I'm 64 now. How many years do I have? I don't have enough years left making knives to justify spending that much money on equipment. Just like a 2x72 grinder, belt grinder. There are thousands. Hold on, my wife's calling me. Well, my wife called and asked me to bring her Chariot up to the house. Her Chariot is her Harley Heritage Softail. She wants to go for a ride. It's 72. Can you believe we went from, I had to shut the water off down here at the shop because it was in the single digits there for a few days, teens for a few days. And I hate cold weather, if I've never told you that. Probably the first you've heard of that. But it was cold. And now, yesterday and today, I'm fixing to open my back door here, let some air in, because I'm starting to sweat from all the... Well, anyway, I brought my wife's bike up to the house for her to ride, because there's nothing but sticks and leaves and acorns down here in front of the garage, and it'd be real easy to slip and have the back end come out from underneath you. So I always bring a bike up for her. Plus, I get a chance to check the oil and go over it, make sure I took for a ride this time, make sure it's okay. Anyway, what I was talking about, the shills that sell overpriced junk on YouTube. And this particular knife is no different than the Olight flashlight salesman. Now, early in my YouTube history, I did some flashlight reviews for, I can't remember the name of the company. And they were actually good flashlights. And they were reasonably priced for the quality of the flashlights. But I stopped doing reviews because I just did not want to feel obligated to give a good review in exchange for either a few bucks or a product. And I'm just not going to do it. And I have every single day, every day. I just deleted an offer just between the last time I turned this off and now when I turned it on, I checked my email, I had another offer. And it's always some junk. Did you look at my channel? I mean, I'm not a fashionista. They wanted me to talk about some kind of shoes, They want to send me a pair of shoes in order for me to talk about them. Anyway, and some people offer me money. And some people offer me a free product. Some people offer both. And I'm never, ever going to do it. If it's a product I buy and I like it, I'm going to tell you about it. But this is not my living. And some of these people that have sold their soul in order for a good review of a product, they never get that little piece of them back. Your integrity, you can never buy it back. So this knife, you would not believe the channels, dozens and dozens and dozens of channels. People with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and maybe 500,000 or 1 million or more subscribers touting this piece of junk knife for, I don't even know what it's going for. I haven't checked the price, but back then it was like $90 for this knife, and it was probably in China, probably 20 cents worth of knife and packaging. So that's what I was thinking about, the Pastor Joes of the YouTube world. And there's a guy that watches my channel, doesn't comment unless I talk about Pastor Joe. So you, don't bother. You and I think differently about Pastor Joe. You, in my opinion, you've been fooled. You have been led astray, bamboozled, hoodwinked. Where have I heard that before? And I'm not going to argue with you about the quality of person Pastor Joe is. Pastor Joe has a cult up there in Arkansas. And and if you've fallen for it, I'm sorry. And I call it a cult because he invites people to live on his compound, but he retains the property and anything you build on it if they should decide they don't like you and want you to leave. That's a cult. Anyway, that's not what I was talking about. He's not the what I was talking about was how many people are willing to sell their soul for a product, just like the Stanley Cup, just like the Olight flashlight, just like this little 20 cent, 30 cent dollar knife that they're giving the impression is made in Japan. And it's not. It is not. It's made in China. And it's sold by a company in Lithuania. It's not even a Japanese-based company that's selling it. Telling you it's a Japanese knife. I mean, you just gotta investigate yourself, and it's easy to do. Anybody can do it. You just gotta not take these products at face value. You have to look into them because everybody's a liar now. Everybody has sold their soul for a product. I got a little bit of carbon burn off up here. It's going to take a whole lot of rubbing to get it out. So when you get this knife, whoever wins it, it's going to have the same amount of love I put into my knives. Even though I'm giving it away, it's going to have the same amount of effort and labor and love. And the same type of brain, I think, that is capable of falling for a product. I think they share a lot of the blind trust, like it's safe and effective. I mean, that required blind trust in order to go take it willingly without doing the research and listening to the dissenting voices and going and doing your own research. And even now, after all this time, what has the CDC come out and said? Sure enough, everything you said was wrong with it is wrong with it. On the CDC's own website. So you can't argue with the CDC, can you? Trust the science, right? And I'm not going to talk about it too much. But I'm saying that I think the people that just blindly took it without looking into it enough are the trusting sort that a lot of these cheap products depend on, believing them. I gotta cut that heat off. That right there. There. I got it turned down low. I don't know why it's coming on. And I'm not, you know, that was a fearful time for a lot of people. And there was a lot of people that did lose their lives. I don't know what for. I do find it highly suspicious that the flu disappeared at the same time that showed up. You know what I mean? There's no reported cases of flu that year. When there's usually hundreds of thousands, there was hundreds. So I think we were manipulated. I didn't take it because I didn't trust the people that were telling me to take it. And I'm not going to buy an Olight because I've seen the people that have been pushing the flashlight. Might be a good flashlight, but it's certainly not a couple $100 good. All right, I'm moving up to 800, which I have right here. And now let me start with this. And this knife, it's not, I don't know, $100. Let's just say they're getting $100 for it. It's not a $100 knife. I think I think trucking helped me to really see society the way I do. I don't trust anybody, not anymore. Trucking helped me to realize that. You would not believe, I know I talk about it a lot because it bothers me, it keeps me awake at night. We're groomed from youth to trust certain segments of society. Trust your politicians because they're out for the best life for you, right? The best society we can have. I think we all know that's not true anymore. They're out to fill their pockets. There are a few standout politicians that I believe still, what is his name? Ron Johnson, the new Speaker of the House from Louisiana. Kennedy. You know, I think there's a few politicians that are truly out for the best for the country. Not many. And I think there's a few scientists that were honest, and the ones that were honest and were trying to say, wait, we need to do a little more research on this thing here. It's not proven to stop it. It's not proven to prevent it. It's not proven to stop anyone from spreading it. There are no benefits. And there are lots and lots of things that are happening to people after they take it that we need to look into. Well, what did they do to those people? The bought and paid for people made those scientists who had integrity shut up. And some of them lost their licenses. And then you had people, there's a guy, RFK, running for president. I don't know if he's still running for president or not, RFK. There was a video of an interview they did with him saying that people who didn't take it should be rounded up and put in camps. That's what he said. I saw it with my own eyes. I went back and listened to it again when he ran for president. And then all of a sudden, not only did he deny saying that video you couldn't find. Just like these videos of people doing reviews of this knife I was talking about, the people who sell the knife have gone and filed copyright violations against the people that did the videos, and they've had the videos taken down. It is a scam. It is a scam. And all those years of trucking, all those years, I come across so many corrupt, dishonest cops. You just wouldn't believe it. It is painful in my heart to make that realization that I came across more crooked, dishonest cops than the average person. You know, let's say you come across 10 regular people out in the world and 2 of them are crooked and dishonest. I come across like 9 out of 10 cops that would lie about something being wrong with your truck that wasn't wrong with your truck, or try to make it appear as though you had committed a violation on your logbook when you absolutely did not. You had receipts to prove where you were. And just to get a ticket. That is corrupt. That is a corrupt soul. Somebody who is so bent on writing a violation and appearing as productive to their peers that they're willing to lie or change the law to suit a ticket. I've told you the story about a guy that Couldn't find anything wrong with my truck. Went around and around and around and around my truck. And he kept on going and talking to his boss. And they would talk quietly. And he would come back and go around my truck again and go back and talk to his boss. Finally, he came back and he said, "You got a license plate light out." I knew I damn well did not have a license plate out. Wrote me a ticket for it. I went up the hill into the truck stop. We're talking 600 feet away, right? I go to pull the license plate light out so I can see what kind to buy when I go in the truck stop. The son of a bitch had unplugged my license plate light and pushed it back in, pushed the light back in. The reason I know this is because my back end of my trailer was covered with road salt and dirt. And the only thing that wasn't covered with road salt and dirt was the light that he had pried out. And I come across them over and over and over. Dirty, disgusting, the stab in your heart when you find out someone you trust to be truthful and honest is more dishonest and untrustworthy than the average Joe in public. That is painful. And it's no different than somebody selling junk knives at 20 times what their real value is, trying to convince you that it's made of quality stuff in a country that is known for making far better quality than China. And it's the same kind of people that push the Olight or do a review for a junky piece of crap and say, "Oh yeah, this is good. You got to buy this because I care about my viewers. So I want you to spend your hard-earned money on a piece of junk that I got for free." All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to finish this knife up. I've had enough votes that Desert Ironwood is the winner. If you've made it this far, it's 15 minutes. I'm looking 15 minutes. This is the end of the video. I won't put any more to this. I won't make you endure anymore. But Friday's video, I'm not going to mention this again. This knife I'm giving away. Enter on Friday's video, and Saturday I'll do the drawing. So Friday's video, just leave a comment. Doesn't matter. You're entered if you leave a comment. And Saturday I'll do a drawing and give this knife away. Thanks for watching if you have. Buddy. He's my buddy. I love this boy. It's going to be a sad, sad day when he's gone. Yep.